Hi everyone. So I just had the most fun making this in my sketchbook, which is me trying to develop a new direction for myself, and this really speaks to me. I'm actually very excited about this. I'm totally sold on sketchbooks, by the way. They work. Anyways, if you'd like to hang out with me for a really long time, this is going to be, it's at least an hour long, and I haven't started editing it yet, but I don't think I'm going to edit it down substantially. It's going to be real-time Cherie. Anyways, if you want to hang out with me while I'm in my bathrobe, painting this thing and figuring stuff out and telling you what comes into my mind and all of that jazz, then join me. And please, I don't expect you to stay with me for the whole entire thing. If you do, let me know, because I would be impressed. I would like to give you a gold star for your forehead. Anyways, come here. Let's do this, okay? Bye. Good morning, guys. It is, oh, it's already almost 10:30. 10:30 on Sunday morning. And I got dressed up for you guys. I'm friggin' wearing my bathrobe. I'm still in my bathrobe. I've combed my hair, but that's as far as I've gotten. And I'm on my second cup of coffee. But this is calling to me, so I'm going to work on it, and I'm going to show it to you. And chances are I'm going to not talk, because I just feel like working. But you're welcome to come along with me. Here's my clicker. Okay, everybody needs to have one of these if you're trying to record yourself. They're awesome, and I don't even try to hide it. No, let me just say this. These are some of my collages, my digital collages from the olden days that I have printed and torn up. And I'm going to glue them down in this book. And I'm actually going to do that while I tell you about it, instead of telling you about it. Like, doesn't that drive everybody crazy? All right. You know, I might feel like talking for a couple minutes. I'm thinking about all kinds of stuff. So, in the world and stuff. I go through periods of time, and I've been in one for a while, where I don't pay attention to anything that's going on in the world. I turn off, I'm actually still this way. I don't play the radio. I don't listen to music unless it's a particular type of music that, I have history with. I don't participate in this, in what comes at us, except for my most recent addiction to YouTube, which doesn't really have that much to do with the fact that I've got a channel. It has more to do with the fact that I have been, when I get a little bit of, I'm doing a performance for you guys. I am making art for myself, but, I'm not making it in private. And whether or not I'm aware of it, I think that it has an effect on, what I do and how I do it and stuff like that. So I don't pay attention to the world, And I have gotten recently literally hooked on the independent journal investigations into two very worldly things that I normally would say, I don't care about that, is the Epstein files and the murder of Charlie Kirk. And I watch videos where they discuss at length in incredible detail. These guys, I'll tell you, the world is full of some really smart people. I get impressed with people, both in our ingenuity and our, you know, like our ingenuity when you want to do something right. There's a lot of people out there that are really curious and want to, you know, tell you the alternative view of what the news is telling us. Oh, see how this is the magic marker that bleeds through, which I actually don't mind, and it's a shame I have to cover it up, but I can I can always make more. So anyways, the point that I'm trying to make about my discourse here is that I have become involved with the world again in ways that I did not think I would, and sort of pride myself on not. So I'm actually breaking my own golden rule, which is to stay uninvolved. But because I've been doing that, I have literally spent hours at a time consuming this content and listening to these investigations. I don't know that that is. I don't know that that's a way into spiritual enlightenment. I see it as a way to distract me from seeking spiritual enlightenment. So I'm not happy with myself with that involvement. These colors. I love these colors. Okay. Now I've also got this stuff. These are just deli sheets, and I think, yeah, that is acrylic paint. Usually I work with stamps, but these are my stamps that I used to use for my pottery company, but they're way too big for my stamp pad. Look at the size of that. But you know what? This wants to go right somewhere. I don't want to get fussy about this. I'm watching myself, you know. You have to keep an eye on yourself when you're working, so that you don't you don't get caught up in being really careful. Because if this work is, I have learned just through this sketchbook, which is another reason to like a sketchbook, the harder I try, the less my result. Well, I guess that's going to go there. I don't have better results when I try harder, when I start getting, like, really thinking these things through. It's the randomness that, pardon me, I know I breathe really loud. I've heard that on some of my videos. It's the randomness of the work that I think is better. You know, like these guys. This was part of a design that looked Halloweenish, and with these Halloweeny leaves, it said something like "You kill me" or something like that. That was freaking clever, if I do say so myself. This is a big piece of paper. So, even though I bought a meditation program from the Monroe Institute. It's called the Gateway Experience. Even though I did that, and I promised myself I was going to listen to it every day, I don't. But I do listen to it probably, I'm going to guess 3 times a week. Not as often, not as much as I would have liked, but it's getting done. And the whole purpose of getting that is I have some vision issues that threaten my freedom, and I'm not going to have that. I'm not having that. I'm 70 years old, and I got shit to do, and I'm not having that. Got to go. Find a way to heal myself. So the thought behind this whole conversation I'm having right now is that I can't heal myself if if I'm watching this shit show in the world. I'm not getting jacked up about it. I'm actually entertained by it because I don't believe any of it. I think it's all theater, you know, and I know that there's probably some real stuff going on out there, but I think there's more theater going on, and I just don't want to get caught up in it. But the stuff that I'm listening to right now, both of those, the people that are doing this research, the software that they're learning to use because of AI, come here, AI can go through the millions of Epstein documents and transcribe them and associate patterns. That's one of the things that AI does really well, is associate patterns. What else do I have? Maybe something up there. What's this? Okay. So I'm almost done with this. By the way, I just want to say this because it occurred to me earlier. You know, one of the things that I enjoy doing, and one of the things that you guys seem to enjoy, is conversation, you know, the things that I talk about. And I'm realizing right now, I live alone, and I purposely, I heard an artist call themselves a lone wolf the other day, and it's not like I've never heard the term, but I guess, never related the term to myself. And when she said that, I was like, oh, I am that. I'm that as well. You know, so sometimes I don't have people to talk to, which is fine because I choose to be alone. But, yeah, I should do this while I should work while I'm doing this. Yeah, I should work while I'm doing this. Hold on, I'm going to go get my magic markers. And these literally are magic markers because I kept on calling them brush markers. Yeah, I don't want to talk. I hope I can get back to my train of thought. What was I talking about? It'll come to me. So this, I really enjoy this idea. I don't know where it's going to go, but I really enjoy this idea of, I don't know, just playing around with it. Oh, that's not glued down. Just playing around with things. Maybe instead of just being random, look at that shape I just outlined. Maybe that's not the worst thing to do. Sometimes I could think about drawing shapes. Like, all right, this is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to draw something that feels like a vase. A very stylized vase. Let's see what happens when I do that. All right. Can I even do this? Oh, I was talking about having people to talk to. So sometimes I feel like talking. Sometimes I feel like, I don't know, working out concepts or something like that. I'm going to play with it. That looks like kind of fun. So being able to talk to you guys when I feel like having a conversation is awesome. And I prefer what's happening with me right now, which is sort of this, you know, stream of consciousness rather than planning and telling you a story about me in boot camp.
I got this box of, how many cards is this? I don't remember, 36 cards or something like that. A decade ago, close to a decade ago. It's been sitting around for a really long time. I bought it when I owned my company. And some of them dried out, some of them separated, but I've got this big range of liquid tip basics. And I know a lot of artists like to work with blue, yellow, red, and white and black, and, you know, mix the colors. And maybe someday, when I develop more as an artist, I'll be able to do something like that. But for now, I really do like buying mixed colors and just, you know, shaking them up with a little bit of paint. So what I have here is I have Payne's Gray, Mars Black, This is a really good gray. It's called Neutral Gray Value 5. I really like it a lot. It's very, I find it to be very warm. Unbleached titanium. This is a guess. I don't really know. It's Fatal. Really? Do you have to have it? My God. Fatal Cyanine Blue. I don't know if that's a guess. Raffia, which is a favorite color of mine. Naples Yellow Q. Yellow Oxide. And maybe I might reach in here for other things, but I think I'm going to play around with the background being there. I have some, these are cool colors. This feels like it leads much more toward warm than cool. So if I go anywhere, it'll probably be in here. Actually, I don't know, raw or burnt, but those seem to want to be here. This one says, alright, so I'm going to see what these three look like with it. This is actually too orange. Okay. Okay, I'm going quiet again.
Okay, you can see what I'm doing here, which I'm kind of excited about. I get excited about everything, but what I'm excited about with this is a departure from what I was just doing. It's taking it in a direction that's specifically me. So these may be too literal, but fortunately I can paint everything out. But so this is a vase on some sort of weird pedestal. So that's a vase. This right here in my mind is, and this is what I'm using. So I'm doing vertical elements that are leaf, stylized leaf things, and I'll know whether or not it needs more once I fill that in. The idea that I've got is to paint around it, negative space, and see what happens of that. And then come over here, and these obviously little arms on the vase. So here is either another straight vase that could have things growing out of it, and so is this. That's very literal. I wish I hadn't done it that way, but like I said, I can paint it out. So that's, wish I hadn't done that, but whatever. All right. All right, I'm going to go quiet because I feel like I want to explore where this can go. So, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to leave this in real time. You guys can speed through it. And, you know, there's a gear on the corner of the thing that, you know, can change the speed of the video. So you can speed it up if it's, you know, if it's too slow for you. But I'm going to just record this in real time because it's easier for me. If it gets really long, I can edit it out. But it'd be interesting for you guys to see me figure this out because I feel like I might be leading in a direction. Okay, I'm going quiet. While I'm getting organized here, I'm thinking about I'm looking at my studio. One of these days I'll have to take you guys on a tour of my studio because it's quite small. But I have to tell you, I have a lot of stuff in here and I can find almost all of it. But I just want to tell you what I'm grateful about while I'm looking at this. I am grateful I have downsized in a big way, and I'm living in a manufactured home, which people used to call mobile homes all the time. And it is a very small, it's a very small house that's the perfect size for one person. And what I have, I'm looking for my glue, what I have is a window right there in front of you, and another one probably about 4 feet, 5 feet away on the other side, which means I don't light my videos. I do not. It's very easy for me to record because I don't use lighting, because lighting is a challenge. Anybody that's got a YouTube channel that has to deal with lighting their artwork without having a big giant ring light reflection in the middle of it, you know, it's a challenge. This is actually fun. But anyways, I have the perfect studio to do this. My table is 4 feet by 3 feet. It's a big giant, I think it's called a map table or something like that. They used to use them for maps. I just want to say that I'm so grateful to have that because it's changed my life. This is white paint mixed with a little bit of water and a little bit of medium, but I don't remember the kind of medium. Where's all my brushes? I've got, look at them, like a painter. I have brushes saved. All right, I'm going to do... Okay. That's what I'm doing. I'm painting out the background. And I started having second thoughts, but no. I'm going to do this very thin for the first coat because I know there's always more coats. You have to keep an eye on the composition that I marked out. So I don't think I've finished any thought I've started, but I do want to say that, you know, if you're sitting out there wondering about putting all this effort into a sketchbook, I 100% understand, because I do work in a sketchbook, but not much. And nothing that I'm like, I'm not taking any risks. I'm just marking things in my book. But lately, I've been taking risks, and I'm trying to develop, you guys probably already know this ad nauseum, but I'm trying to find, I need a direction that I need an artistic direction that's my own. All of my work that I've been doing, except for my really early work, is all inspired by somebody. You know, somebody else's work. I want to do my own work. I've been inspired by Rex Ray and Mark Hurld and Charlotte Wensley, and who else do I have in there? I can't really remember. You know, and it's nice to be inspired. That's, you know, that's part of the reason why we share our work. We want to encourage you, whoever you are sitting out there, to jump in. I can just paint right over that and fill it in after. So, yeah, so we want to be encouraging to you guys to, what am I doing here? To try this kind of stuff. And what I've been really enjoying about the sketchbook is that I'm going to cover that all up. Well, I guess I am, because I don't know what else to do. Hold on. Yeah, I'm trying stuff, especially this right now with working with paint and with collage. I've really never, my paint's always been on the gel plate. I've never really done anything intended to be, I don't know, like a new direction. That I was playing around with Rex Ray because it was fun. But I don't want to be Rex Ray. What I want to be is me. And if you don't know who that is, then the only way to find out is to play around. So that's what I'm doing. I'm playing around. I'd be curious in the comments if you guys could tell me when I go quiet for a long time, I always play my brother's music. But I watched a couple of videos where it's just been this ambient sound around the artist's studio, and I haven't minded that. Just curious how you guys feel. Interesting. This is going to need, okay, I can fill that in. There are parts of this that I probably will edit out in the sense that, just to, if you don't need to watch me paint the same block for days. I'll figure it out. Whatever it is you're looking at now, that's what I decided to do. I decided to do it that way. But the experiment of this, if it comes out, if I'm disappointed with the results, I can make another one, but I won't have a canvas that I paid dollars for, or that I don't have, because I was started to say about how small my house is. This is a jam-packed studio. I've got stuff stacked up and there's no wall space. It's all window and shelves. Nothing. No, I can't hang anything on the walls. I wish I hadn't done that. Oh, well. So if I play inside, get this all over. If I play inside this sketchbook and I come up with something that makes me go, like the stuff that I posted in my last video, that made me go, there were a couple things that I did that I was very entertained by. I am learning how to drive my paintbrushes better than before. They're a challenge if you don't know what they do. But I can't see what I'm trying to color out. Okay, this. Need a smaller paintbrush. Smaller than that. Let's do this. I'm gonna go quiet. I don't know how careful I should be. I don't feel like being very careful because I'm not sure if it matters. But you know what? It can't hurt, so slow down. I'm rushing because I know you guys are here, but you know what? You can either be here or you can go watch TV, but this is what I'm going to do. Shouldn't be worried about You guys are grown-ups. You know how to you know how to manage your time. talking with a paintbrush in my mouth, but I like going over these lines before putting on my second coat because I paint them out when I go over them the second time. They don't hold on to their detail, which is what I want, but I'm too lazy to paint carefully around it. So for instance, this area here, you know, I can darken that up, but when I paint around it, I will cover up some of that so it won't look drawn on top, which I really like. So I'm getting ready to do some post-op on this. I don't even know why I came up with that word because I hate the medical cartel. Sure. Stuff. I'll tell you something. It's actually fun for me to be in here right now in my bathrobe, deciding that I was mostly going to record her in real time because that means I don't have to babysit the camera, which distracts me from what I'm trying to do here. And if I warn you ahead of time, you guys know that this is going to be a largely real-time thing, so you can find that gear and speed it up. I don't have any profound messages to share today, so you won't be missing anything if you hear me go chipmunk. I don't know if I ever finished talking about what I was talking about. I think I was doing some soft disclosure conspiracy stuff. Where's everything? All right, this is an empty vessel that needs to be dealt with. This is what I've been doing. I've been using this spritzer thing because a lot of my Nova colors, because I don't use them often enough, they get a skin on them. So I've been putting that. All right, I'm going to let that. Should I do more? Should I change that shape? Make this a vet. Hold on. I want to get rid of that. I want to do something with that. All right, I'm doing more. Hold on. Let's test this paper with wet stuff, which I don't normally do. And that is way too much glue. Like, what am I going to do with this? I'll put it there. Maybe I can mix it with the paint. Just put it off to the side. Okay, I'm going to cover that up. And where's that other piece? Catalyst wedge. I show it in every video because if you're looking for useful tools to help do all kinds of things, this is it. Warning, and I give this warning every single time. Don't use a knife to clean the paint off. This is silicone. Eventually it'll peel off in a big wad because once you do that, you can't use it on the gel plate anymore. You can use it to do this to smooth out glue, but you can't use it on the gel plate anymore. Okay. I'm going to let that dry for a couple of minutes. You know, I need something here. And I'm going to get it. All that glue that I thought I wasted, right here. So there was a part of me that thought that I shouldn't do this because that it was sort of like cowardice. I am wicked hard on myself. But if I ever treated anybody I know the way I treat myself, they jump ship. I'm hard on myself because actually I've always called it self-deprecating humor. There's, you know that all comedians are tortured souls, right? And I am something of a comedian. I actually, at one time in my life, even considered having a, doing stand-up. Because I like to tell stories, and I like it when people think they're funny. But I'm way too fragile to, way too fragile to do this live. All right, so I've got some other shapes. All right, and that's gonna need, all right, I'm gonna let this dry. I'll be back. These pens, only like these magic markers, they get coated with acrylic, pretty coated or whatever, they resist. Sometimes you have to force them. You have to force them to cooperate. This is actually, you know, what's really fun about this. I'm not 100% in love with what's happening, but something different is happening. And I appreciate that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna, I can paint over these things. This I'm gonna ignore. I'm gonna ignore that for a while because it's, I don't know what to do with it, so I just thought I'll let it percolate. See, look at what happens there. That's why I keep drawing the black line in. This is a learning curve. I keep drawing the black line in because I want it to look painted over. And I don't want to wait until the end because I might not appreciate the way it was, you know, if I draw it on top and try to be wiggly. I really like that overlap. I think that looks very painted. And I like the idea of that. Those are fun. Those have a, that's a little odd there. I may bring that, and let's do that now while it's dry. I'm going to bring that line down. Bring this up. Actually, try a different one. See if it's more cooperative. Nope. I've got a bunch of these that I don't want to throw away because they still occasionally perform, but they may have reached the end of their useful life. I'm covering this up. Sorry, guys. Let me bring that down, and that. maybe pretend there's a, let's do that. This is very fun for me. I don't know what I'm going to do. What am I going to do with that? Let's... So if you're still watching, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but it feels like it's going to be long. If you're still watching now, awesome. If you bailed a long time ago because the pace is too slow, I totally get it. But I love this part right here. How cute is that? All right. That I don't like at all. How can I fix it? Bring this down like that. Bring this down like this. Let's see what we can do with this, guys. Let's see if we can open up these paint. I tell you, paint is learning how to paint. I've been wanting to do it forever. I think I told you guys, but probably not you current guys, but I bought and paid for an art class, $1,500, guys, and I never took the class. I started trying to take it, and I just felt completely overwhelmed, and I never took the class. But maybe one day, after playing with these paints and not feeling so retarded. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know that, but you can't say that word. I found out at my high school reunion, you can't use the word retarded anymore. And when I was told that, because everybody got a look on their face, when I was told I can't say that, I said, you're saying I can't use that word? And they were like, no. And I was like, that's retarded. It didn't go over well. It wasn't. I hope I'm not offending you guys, but I can tell you that the world has turned into a bunch of pussies. You can't say anything to anybody without them getting offended. So there's a part of me that, I don't know. I'm not going to, I'm not going to play the everybody's getting their feelings hurt so easily game, because we're all grown-ass people. You know, I grew up in the early 50s, late 50s, early 60s. And, you know, it was a war zone out there, kind of like it is now. What am I going to do there? Well, that's a little plant. I'm going to make that into a little plant. Yeah, so I interrupted myself again with another random thought. And now I have no idea what I was talking about. I was talking about using prohibited language, which is apparently a thing. What else? Can I leave that alone for a while? All right, let's deal with this. I've been trying to avoid it, but it's not going to go away. So I'm going to spray my paint brushes. I'm going to cover them with a washcloth because I'm not using my Stay Wet palette because it's too much work and it's too big and it hogs the space. Okay, you. I don't want this to, although I did draw this in, so here. Okay, you are a wimp. Oh, that one draws. Let's give that a test drive. Okay. This is looking very pre-planned. Maybe I can paint it out. All right. I'm going to take this line, pull it across here. I don't know why, I just am. Okay. It's got a big hole in it. I'm going to do that. And okay. Let's see what happens here. It's not as organic as I had hoped it would be, but I don't know if that really matters. What I want to do is make art. I'm not really sure if it matters how I get there. It just matters that I do. And I have to say these are a little bit fun. So I just made a decision while I'm doing this that I'm not going to put music over. I'm going to let it be. I might even keep the sound in. I'm going to let it stay quiet. That way, if you feel like watching for however long, you won't have to deal with volume and stuff, and even the ads when they come on. You can keep the sound turned down if you want. Okay. Let's go here. I want to say, Elisa Burke. Maybe that's what caused me to think about how I want to do this today in my bathrobe. She was doodling. She did, and she doodled not 100% real time, but maybe 2 times for an hour. And she basically said, if you want to watch, I'm going to doodle. And I'm pretty sure she had music playing in the background, because that's what we're conditioned to do. And I thought, that's actually nice and slow. I even watched a woman. She's 76 or 8, 77. She's my age and older. And actually, look at that lumpy paint, which I like better than the not lumpy paint. I like how painterly that looks. Maybe I'll try. See, this is what you can do with a sketchbook. You don't really know or care how it's going to come out, so I can try blobbing on paint and leaving it rough and seeing if I like that better than this smooth stuff I'm playing around with. But I think I'm going to paint some things in here. Yeah, this is fun. Part of the reason why I want to change my camera angle is I want to be able to get closer to the canvas. I've got vision limitations that I am really working on a spiritual solution to, but they don't develop overnight. You know, Rumi has an expression, symptoms are messengers. And when you become ill or something starts to malfunction on your body, not you, let me speak for myself because I really don't like anybody putting words into my mouth, so I won't do it to you. For me, hold on. Okay. This I don't like as well. Yeah, lost my train of thought. It's gone, guys. Don't get old. It's a trap. I've said this joke before. Oh, wait a minute. You guys are old. I don't remember what my percentage is. Half of you are 55 and older. Way more than half of you watch everything on a TV, which means you get to see all the details, which is kind of cool because I spent all my time watching videos on my frickin' phone. And when I turn them sideways, I feel like I'm at the cinema. All right. I do like this little brush. This is a number 4. I find it's the one that I reach for. I don't have many others, so I don't know. All right, so this is repetitive. But look at what's coming out of, look what's starting to, let's do this. Hold on. Let me paint out this big thing on the bottom. I don't think I'm going to need a small brush. Let's get this, let's lighten this up so we can see how its shape relates to its friends next door. I'm sure my head's in. When I do the camera angle, I should do that next. Next time I come back on, when I shut down to go get something to eat, when I come on, I'll do the camera angle that's closer. It's down low enough. See how low? It's really hard for me to get my head underneath it. And I don't, it's not that I don't want you to see my head, it's that you can't see my painting because my head's in the way, and my head causes the camera to autofocus so that you get to see the incredible detail on my lovely salt and pepper hair. But you don't get to see the painting, you know. All right, so don't mind that. I'm going to change a few things. Hold on. I'm going to bring that like that. And this like that. Let's see how that goes. Never mind that. My head, I'm sorry. I'm getting detail oriented because I kind of am, but test drive, Cherie. This is a test drive. This is testing a concept. All right, so I've got let's take a look. Let's take a look at what I got here. I've got 4 vases filled with plants from an alien culture, just my kind of plants. And I think what I'll probably do next, just to test the direction, is pull out some paints. I'm going to let this dry though. I don't want these pages to be, I don't want to soak them too much. Yeah, that's not, see, I can't paint that in because it's not dry. I mean, because it's too wet. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera off and go do, I don't know, lunch, maybe brush my teeth and wash my face. This is a high compliment, guys, that I would actually, oh, I am really becoming well adjusted, that I would actually come on camera without being, even though you can't see me, I'm clearly underdressed for this social occasion, you and me. Anyways, all right, TTYL. Okay, I've gone and contemplated some things, and I'm back. I think what I'm probably going to do is let this dry for a good while, because now what I want to do is add paint to it. And I'm noticing, like particularly with that area there, that won't dry. It's got too much water in it. Possibly true with this as well. So I said I was going to go away, and then I turned off the camera and kept painting. But this time I really mean it. I'm going to go away. These are fun. They've got a sense of humor. I took a little bit of my brother. My brother is a musician, and he writes music. And this particular one was called Dust in the Corners. He wrote it a long time ago. But I'd like to incorporate some of his work into this. This is a fun direction, huh? Yeah, this is fun. Yeah, I'm enjoying myself. Okay, bye. And now a word from our sponsor, which is me. I want to show you, I've got these blankets on my website that are much more beautiful in person than they are on the website, because the website's all mock-ups. You can't really show a real product. But this is the smallest of the 3 sizes of blankets. And before I started this commercial, I probably should have looked up the size, but this is like, 37 by 52 or something like that. I made this for my niece. It's got a tree on it. It's got the name, the day that they got married, all of that kind of stuff. The front of it is all the neutral black and white. This is jacquard woven, which is a type of weaving that's very complex and creates a really beautiful product. It's 100% cotton. This is what the back side looks like. So it's the negative of the front side. And it's warm and comfortable, not lightweight, not heavyweight, comfortable on your lap. Very, very fun thing. This is the one I'm pretty excited about, because this, how pretty this is. This is just one that has a letter that was written on it. One of my neighbors, I gave her some of my giving cards, and she wrote me a thank you letter. And it was a very poignant thank you letter that talked about her husband that had recently passed, and how some of the cards had messages on them that were pertinent to her husband, and just made her feel very, very appreciative. And so this whole letter, she doesn't know about it, I'm going to give it to her, but this whole letter was written by my friend Sandy. So this is one of the items that are available on my website, one of the blankets that's available on my website. I just wanted you to see something in person, to know that they're real, they're lovely, they're cotton, you can throw them on the beach, on the sand on the beach. You can put them on your couch, on your bed. They're really nice. I really like them. Yeah, let's wear it like a poncho. And that's all I want to say. So we can go back to our regular programming, and I'll try not to bother you with selling you stuff. See ya. Bye. Okay, I feel like I'm going to paint for a little while. I probably won't take you through the whole thing, because the video is over an hour long now, and I don't know how much I don't know how much staying power you guys have, but what I feel like doing is maybe just adding a little bit of some of these colors that I picked out, just to create some interest. I might even, let's see, can you even see that? Let's see, I don't want you to see my cord. So, oh, geez. Okay. This is quite a bit of paint that just came out. It is raw sienna. I don't know what I'm going to do with this because it's really dark, and maybe it just should have a little bit of white mixed in with it. Here, let me show you what I'm doing. A little bit of white. Raw sienna. Let's see what it makes. Kind of that kind of color. So what do I want to? What do I actually want to do with this? I guess maybe I'll just play around with adding some, I don't know, color blocks. Yep. Don't know what I'm doing. Here, let me push this up so you guys can get the view. This is very pink, which I don't love. So let's make it a little darker. That's kind of cool. Okay, that's a little predictable. Do I want to, I don't know, like do stuff like this? No, because then I'm going to kill my contrast. I'm getting this idea that I might want to just paint some of this stuff in. Just some of the little shapes, but I don't know if that's going to kill my contrast. The black and white. Okay. Maybe just distribute some of this color around. See where it wants to be. I really like this paintbrush. It's interesting, I'm just watching myself, how, how timid I am when it comes to, I'm timid when it comes to painting because I don't have a lot of experience, but I can tell you the little bit of painting that I've been doing on camera with you guys has given me a noticeable greater level of confidence in using these paintbrushes. I've settled down to a couple of brushes that I really enjoy using. This number 4 seems to work for at least the size of my sketchbook. Makes it possible for me to get some shapes in there that fit. Should I even worry about stuff like that? Not really. I guess, just play around with, because I don't know what to paint. I don't know where this style is going to go. I'm just going to play around with painting inside of some of the shapes that are here and see what comes of it. These little snippets of words. I don't even know if I mentioned it before because I talk so much I have no idea what I say. And then half the time I forget what I'm talking about. But these little snippets of text is my brother's handwriting, which is always so florid. He's got this really fancy fancy, expressive handwriting. He's a pretty fancy, expressive guy. It's called Dust in the Corners. And it's one of his original songs. I actually took the lyrics one year and created a piece of art. And when I gave it to him for Christmas, as soon as he opened it up, he got choked up. And I have to tell you something, that was an amazing response for me. I was very, very touched by that. Very touched. So that's part of why we do what we do, isn't it? We want to create something that expresses a part of ourselves, and we want to share it with people. And when it means something to them, when they are touched by it, we are touched by their being touched. It's awesome. I mean, I suppose I was just going to say, I suppose I'd make art even if I didn't share it. And that is true. I did. I used to make art even though I wasn't sharing it on YouTube. But to know that, I've mentioned maybe too many times that, I'm a little bit of a loner. I spend a lot of time by myself, but I enjoy my company, and the things that I'm interested in are a little bit too unusual for most people. So what I really enjoy about YouTube, and I think I started to talk about this earlier and then forgot, what I really enjoy about YouTube is I don't always have somebody to talk to because of my self-imposed, I like to be alone. I have friends, but I do appreciate my alone time. So I get to talk to you guys and say what's on my mind, even if it's, I don't know, even if it doesn't make that much sense, or even if I forget what I'm talking about and go away, which is a very common thing. Okay, this I'm kind of enjoying the idea of painting inside of these shapes because there are colors inside of them that give me a little bit of a sense of what color and where, This is actually, these are kind of fun. And look, I just want you to know I got dressed up for you. I'm actually wearing a sweater, and I even put on some earrings and lipstick because I just recorded a commercial for my website. I'm sure it'll either turn up in this video or another one. They're not professionally done, but you know what? I'm a little old lady living in New Hampshire making art in my spare bedroom, and I don't think it's really important for me to to be a professional. I think it's important for me to just be myself, and based on the feedback from you guys, that seems to be something that you're interested in as well. I think I started to talk about this earlier, and I completely forgot about this woman that I saw the other day. She's in her, I don't know, kind of later stages of life, and she started posting. I've only watched one video, so I don't know what her content is, but she's just talking about life. She's just talking about this and that and the other thing. I'm going to put some black on top of that. It's too solid. In the video that I was watching, she had 345,000 views on the one video. And I think it's because she is like a regular person, like a regular woman, not making slick videos, not like fancy editing and stuff. I mean, I'm not doing any of that either. I suppose because I'm a creative, I suppose I'm capable of doing that, but I can't be bothered. It's not important to me to, I don't know. Making videos is fun, but I enjoy putting my effort into the art. Anyways, it made me, I actually at one point, a couple months ago, sat down in my bathrobe in my favorite chair because I had so many thoughts on my mind that I needed to talk about, and I had nobody to talk about it with. So I sat down in shitty lighting in my bathrobe and started talking. Now, I do have a little bit of pride. I wouldn't want to put up a bathrobe video, although I subjected you guys to it this morning. It occurred to me that there might be another channel in me. Although I suppose the talking that I would want to do is being done with you right now. But sometimes there are just things on my mind that I would like to ramble on about. It helps me to figure things out. I need some black. Hold on, guys. I know what I'll do. I'll put a little bit of Payne's Gray right there. It's not black, but it's not, I don't want this to be all the same color. Oh, all right. Payne's Gray is is apparently transparent. So it's possible that maybe someday I'll create a stream of consciousness video where I just allow myself to talk about the things that I find interesting about life. And it's a lot. I have some very unorthodox views about the world in which we live. And it's not that I'm afraid to share them. It's just that I'm not sure if this is the place to share them. Well, that's kind of fun. Yeah, I just don't know if this is the place. This is kind of fun. All right. So I don't know. You know what? I mean, I could just put up a long video. I'm sitting here thinking, oh, I should end this because it's getting so long. But you know what? I'm having fun. And if you are too, then you can always leave. But if you're enjoying the meandering nature of this, then you could hang out, because I'm going to keep doing this for a while. I'm just going to keep recording. I welcome you to go do whatever you want at any time. I won't be insulted, because I realize this is long. So much fun. White. Go. Look at this pretty color that develops when I put the Payne's Gray mixed in with the raw sienna, which has no cover on it, so it can totally dry up. Yeah, this is like a little bit like, it's a little bit like paint by number in the sense that there's something here for me to respond to, which I wicked like. Fun to work with my own designs. Who did I see do that? The first time I saw somebody do that was Helen Wells. She photocopies her work and then designs around it, which I actually think is kind of brilliant because you know, we've all, if you've been producing art for any amount of time, and I have been for, I guess, a lot since 2010, when I started learning abstract digital design. So you got all this stuff, I've got folders and folders. Oh, I just made that disappear. It wasn't the plan, but whatever. I can put something on top of it again. So the work just sits on my computer and has for 15 years, now going on 16 years, just sitting in folders on the computer. Why not print them? I'm actually talking about packaging them as digital designs that you guys could download and do the same thing. You could use my art to create your art if you want to. If you don't want to, then that's perfectly fine. But if that's something that would be interesting to you, if you would drop a comment, that might motivate me to get off my butt and actually work with the company that has made me an offer to print some of my stamps and possibly stencils. Might motivate me. I've got a huge body of abstract work. It's interesting the words that I chose to pull out of Russell's song. So what am I? This one is, I don't remember, it was to be something. I don't remember what I tore off, but it says something about my life is in disorder. He's talking about dust in the corners. My life is in disorder. What do I do about the dust in the corners? My life is not in disorder, but I'll tell you guys, I'm not living it. I'm not living my life. I'm spending probably more time alone than might be healthy for me, but it's where I am right now. I'll tell you how much more fun working with colors that I'm not afraid of. I don't like what I did there, but that doesn't mean I can't fix it. Okay. Let's see. So the meditations that I mentioned that I do, trying to heal my vision. I have meditation tapes from a company called the Monroe Institute. Monroe Institute has trained some very amazing people in the art of remote viewing and out-of-body stuff, which is very woo-woo, but it's what I'm interested in. And the meditation that I do for my eyes, let's get some blue in there. Meditation that I do for my eyes, they have you get into this deep state of meditation, which is called Focus 12, which is mind awake, body asleep. You get into this deep meditative state. And the instructions are to think about a healing Think about a healing that you want to happen for your body, and to envision the color purple. Color purple is the color of our third eye chakra, which is in the middle of the forehead, which is right down from my vision, which is giving me a little bit of a challenge in my life. So I do that meditation regularly, because I don't know if my belief system is developed. It's probably not developed enough to restore my vision. Put some stripes in here. I don't know if I can restore my lost vision, because it really does require you to, whatever you believe, this is my view, and I've arrived at this over years of asking questions, but whatever it is that you believe, that is what you bring into your life. I think I said even earlier, symptoms are messengers. My vision loss is trying to tell me something. That's not really awesome, but I can fix it. All right, let's do this. Okay, I'm getting ready to wind down. I'm going to finish. This last piece on camera with you guys. This last thing here, and then I'm going to close it. Close it down. This is a lot of blue. Henri, my nephew calls me. Oh, let me tell you guys a story while I'm doing this. My nephew, my perfect blue-eyed boy. Oh my God, he's such a gift. I'm not going to get any grandchildren in this life, because that's not apparently what I signed up for. But I get a great grand nephew who is freaking perfect. He told his mother the other day that he used to have a sister, but she died, and that he was responsible for her death, and he used to be bad, but he's not anymore. And she was not dumbstruck by it, but I certainly was, because I've watched plenty, let me push this up, plenty of videos on YouTube of kids who have these vivid memories and are, in a way, kind of disturbed by it, because this, some of these memories, that's a fairly traumatic memory for a 4-year-old to have. But he said to her the other night, I miss my other family. I like this family, but I miss my other family. And that's that's some pretty extraordinary stuff to hear come out of one of your. No, I want it much more see-through than that. And this is going over deli paper, so look what's happening. Can you see it? It's the paint is splitting, which is actually good. I'm going to put it on significantly thinner, so let me get more water. So we've got a 4-year-old boy who is still so close to who he was when he signed up to come here that he still remembers it. No, thinner. I want to see through this. He still remembers it, and he can still talk about it. And she's asked me, he's in private school now. She's asked me if I'll take care of him in the beginning, sometime in February and another time in March when the school is closed. And I am going to teach that boy how to heal with his hands, because I know he can, because I can. I teach him how to heal with his hands I'm also going to bring, and I hope I don't regret this, but I'm going to bring my tuning forks. I have purchased tuning forks for healing through what's the name of the company? Biofield Tuning. And I want to make sure that that memory, if it's caught in his field, I don't want it to damage his life, because I believe that we carry ancestral memories into our next lives, and I don't want the fact that he feels like he was responsible for his sister to haunt him. I don't want that for my boy. This is freaking perfect. All right, so you know what? I am getting ready to tip things over. Hold on a second. Let's see. I'm almost done, guys. If you're still here. Wow. Wowie, good for you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm just going to do a little bit of this. See what I'm painting right now? This is the word no. This is a design that I put on, that I created when Neil first left. And I used the word no over and over again because I just couldn't believe he was gone. Couldn't believe he actually left. But he did. And I am reminded of him many times a day, but because I'm so addicted to my phone, for sure, when I open my phone, because there's his blue-eyed 15-year-old face not looking at me, because I couldn't get him to cooperate for a photograph at all. All right, I might be getting tired because I don't like what I'm doing right now. Let me get a little bit of white on top of this. You know what? I may do more on this, but I'm done. Am I done? Hold on. Let me do something pretty down here with Payne's Gray. A little bit of water. Payne's Gray is, I use black a lot. Some artists don't prefer it. I use it a lot. But Payne's Gray, look at the prettiness. But here I am. All right, you know what? I like it. It was a great deal of fun. It's definitely a project. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. I'm going to tell you what you already know, or maybe some of you don't, that my name is Cherie Burlington. I'm an artist, an errant, which is a nonconformist. And errants we don't like to follow the rules, and I definitely don't. Artist, errant, angel mom, because that boy that I keep talking about, Neil, he is gone. He has slipped the surly bonds of earth. He has flown. He has returned home. So anyways, Cherie Burlington, artist, errant, angel mom. Look at what I made today. It's so freaking cute. Thank you for hanging out. I know this is a really long video, and if you're still here, yay. Thank you so much. See ya. Where's my clicker? Bye.